Hey guys, it's 𝗧𝗛𝗡𝗏𝗡𝗚 here, and welcome back to another build challenge. So for today's build challenge, as you can see, we are going to attempt to build a $20,000 mansion, which if you guys know, $20,000 is the amount for a starter home. So this is going to be pretty wild. I have seen other simmers do a variant of this, but we're going to see how this goes. We're going to see if we can actually create a large mansion with about 5 or 6 bedrooms, all the works with a kitchen, dining room, bathrooms, an entertainment space, a pool, all of that for only $20,000. So with that said, I will have a few rules. I will allow myself to use cheats, and that does include some debug objects. So hopefully that will help with the budget. But other than that, I'm going to try and stick with all the parameters I have found regarding a mansion. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do is, starting this off, I'm actually going to toggle this open and we're going to have a view of our lot value. So that is going to be a little scary. I'm going to try and hit all the parameters I mentioned and hopefully we can stick within the budget. But as you can see, the amount quickly accumulates, which is very scary. I can shrink down the wall, but it doesn't do anything to affect the price. So this is going to be really difficult. Probably another box over here. Like I said, we do need some kind of entertainment space if this is going to be a mansion, something that is not really typical in a lot of houses, so that's going to be really hard. But here we go. We do have some kind of kitchen, dining room area here, and then hopefully cram some bedrooms up here, which is going to be really tight. They're going to be very small bedrooms. Do need some nice siding outside, so I do think I will pull something here, something relatively cheap, if it allows us, if it allows us to do so. Thinking we could probably do this from Island Living, just apply it like so. Already we're at $10,000, yikes. Okay, so this is going to be really difficult. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to put down all the essentials first and then see what we can work around if we do have a little bit of wiggle room for something. Definitely need some stairs in here. We're going to go super cheap, $5 stairs, because we need to keep this budget down, you guys. Please let me put these cheap stairs in here. Perfect, okay. Alright, going upstairs, we're going to need 5 bedrooms. So I've looked up a lot of sources. There's not really a lot of agreements on how many bedrooms a mansion should have, but it is roughly 5 to 6. So I think we're going to do 5. We're going to see how that goes. There's 1 here, 2, 3, maybe a smaller one. Probably like this. We can get some more up here. Definitely going to need some space for bathrooms, so I'm a little scared about that, but maybe we can squeeze it in. Alrighty, we do have a doorway, and again, we need something cheap. 115, okay, 190. It's looking like this one. Don't have a lot of options here, and we cannot be fussy, so I think we'll try this. Alright, interior. Do need to choose a wallpaper, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it easy and just use the same wallpaper all around. Probably something cheap, only $2. I think that works great. Alright, definitely wanting something more modern, so I think what I can do is I may try to just go for a simple color like this, just to see how this works. Get some flooring now. What do we have for options? $4, $4. Can we go lower? $4 everywhere! Not even linoleum. Why? This makes no sense, you guys. Some things should be even cheaper, but they're not. This one is also $4 if you wanted something a little bit funky like this. Plop these around, and the budget is going out the window, you guys. Yikes. I think I set myself up for failure, but it's okay. We're going to do this. We're going to try our best. All right, windows. We're going to go for the cheapest thing we have, and it looks like we do have some options from Eco Lifestyle, which are only $15, which is absolutely great. They do work with the look we're going for and the color scheme, and they have some cool designs on there, so that is perfect. So I think we can use these. We do have some for $20, which are also not bad. 25, probably do something like this on the upper floors, perhaps. All right, it's coming. It's slowly coming, okay. All right, guys, so I think my plan is, in order to do this the best I can, if we can even pull this off, I'm going to go in and put some light fixtures in, probably going to go very cheap like this, and just go for some very simple lighting because we have so much we have to put in this space. So just going in and adding some quick mini saucer lights just like this. All right, let's see if we can get some beds down. The beds are a little bit concerning because the beds do add up fairly quickly. I'm thinking we will have 1 master bedroom, and we're going to have to use hopefully the cheapest thing we can find. There are these, which look scary. They look very scary. They almost work, but they're still not quite there yet. We have $290 for the used futon bed from City Living. So I think that's actually not too bad. $300. Okay, these beds are not that much cheaper, which is very scary. Very, very scary. But we can do something like this. Yeah, you guys, we only have like $4,000 left. What is this? I'm gonna have to shrink this house. It's not gonna be a mansion after all. Kitchen, we're gonna have to go for very cheap objects here, $325. Gonna try to match the theme of the house as best as I can, try to keep it luxurious if it's even possible. Maybe this one, you guys, just a one here. Let's go for the cheapest stove. Do like this option, it's a little bit more rustic. I think we're gonna have to go for this. 17,217. Yikes. Okay. We definitely need a dining table. So let's get that out really quickly. Has to be something somewhat large. Maybe we can do this. I think this looks fairly modern enough from the Eco Lifestyle pack. Let's get some chairs down here. Ooh, these are only $10, but none of them quite match and they don't feel luxurious enough. So yikes. $40, 40, 30. But this chair looks very rickety, so probably not that one. We could do this one from the City Living pack. It kind of looks modern enough, so maybe we could do this. Okay, garage. I'm not really sure if the garage is happening, you guys. I think what I'm going to have to do is use this as some sort of combined living room, perhaps some living room, and I don't know what the specialty room is going to be. I think that's the really challenging part. Okay, don't have much money left. Yikes. All right, guys, how do we strategically shrink this house? Oh my goodness. We don't even have bathrooms in here. All right. I think what we can do is we can probably shrink this central area here. I'm guessing we can make that smaller. So I'm going to take this. Can I pop it in at an angle? Yes, I can. Perfect. And I think the door can actually go outside right over here. Can also put an archway here. We don't need another door. And okay, we have the dining space. We have a measly kitchen, which is not luxurious by any means, but perhaps we can use more of these wonderful windows perhaps. Could also go like this just to add in more light. Okay, we definitely need a way in over here because this part of the building is completely cut off. I did not think that through. Could we use one of these again? Can we rotate it again? No, I thought we could, you guys. Let me see. Yes, okay, there, perfect. All right, that works great. The cheapest railings we have, $5. It's not bad. $5 is not bad. And it still looks modern enough. Great. Definitely needs some bathrooms. So that is going to be a little bit tricky. I'm thinking the family is going to have to do some sharing. I know this is a mansion, but we just don't have space, you guys. We do not have space. So here we go. Better yet, I think we're going to have to shrink the space because these walls are very expensive. I don't really know why. But yeah, they are. So we have to shrink the space even more. I'm going to cut this portion out to save some money. Maybe a little tiny divot. Can we cut into the room a little bit? Just like this. It's weird, but it may work. Cheapest door we have, and... Ooh, yes, $50. Okay. Let's do the one from Seasons. Have a little bit of an entryway there. We definitely need to fit in a bathroom, so that's going to be a little hard. I'm thinking I may have to resituate a few things, especially with these master bedrooms, if you will. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Unfortunately, we also have nothing for the roof, so that is very sad. I'm thinking I do want to create a little bit of some kind of dual tone here. Because the building is all one color right now, I do want it to be a little tiny bit more dynamic. Let's see, how much was this? Was it $2? Was it cheap? $2? Okay. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. If I do say so myself. I can do partial walls on top, but I think that's going to drive up the price even more. So I think that's a little scary. I don't know how much the roofs are going to cost. Ooh, I think they're free. I think the roofs are free, you guys. So here we go. Not bad. Just put one here. Okay. This is not looking too bad, I think. I don't know what style this is exactly, but I think it looks realistic enough that it could pass as a mansion, perhaps. Maybe on the smaller side, but it is interesting, I think. I do also have the choice of making the garage, but I think at this point, you guys, I don't think it's going to be feasible because we do need some room down here for the remaining assets. So we do need the living room area. I did want to create some kind of recreational room, but it's not looking good right now. And already they're driving up my budget. They are driving up my budget, you guys. Yikes. Okay. Could we shrink the room more? We could potentially shrink this area as well. I can try to figure out a new layout for this area. Can we cut you out even more? Maybe? Okay. We don't have a good entrance to the backyard, but I think we can actually cut out this window. I'm gonna bring this one over here. I don't know if we're gonna have money for a pool. That's what I'm really scared about, you guys. I don't know if we're gonna have enough. So I can try to draw a little bit of a pool. Probably something super basic. Oh my gosh, it's $300. $300 pool? No! This is insane, you guys. That is way too much money. Do we have another option? Do we have like a hot tub? But I'm afraid those are gonna be so expensive. $3,000, no! We cannot have a pool. Yikes, we can't have a pool. We have a very tiny one, but I don't think it's even worth it at this point because it drains the rest of the budget, so I don't think that's happening. We still could have some kind of nice outdoor space, but it's not looking good, you guys. I can shrink this area. Could we shrink this even more? We're literally cutting corners, so that is the name of the game, you guys. We're cutting corners here. Probably shrink this one also? There were no specifications regarding how big the rooms were supposed to be, so that is the catch, you guys. That is the little tiny loophole I'm going to do, because we still have all the rooms here. We do also need the bathroom, so that's a little bit troublesome, because there are a lot of rooms in this house, but there's so little in terms of bathrooms, so maybe I can put something small. I know I can do the 3-tile bathroom, which works great, and I think everyone's gonna have to share it. Everyone's gonna have to share this little tiny bathroom, but yeah, because I can put one here. I can put one to the master bedroom, like this. Cheap appliances here. Okay, fine. $250 is fine, you guys. The shower, yes, this is really not so cheap. It's not so cheap, you guys. The sink area can be this one. It's gonna have to do. We need to be very cost effective, so here we go. There's that. There's one bathroom in the house in this giant mansion. I wish I could do another one, but again, we are so strapped. We are so strapped for money here. Can we fit? Yes, we can. We can fit it, you guys. We can make it skinnier. Yes. Okay, can we cut corners anywhere else? I would like another bathroom somewhere, but I think it's gonna be hard. I can probably do... There is a sink downstairs. Can I just do a toilet and a shower? Is that possible? Okay, so this is really hard, you guys. I'm gonna take a break from the inside. I'm gonna see what we can do with debug and hopefully give the outside of this lot a little bit more pop. So maybe even if this mansion is completely barren on the inside, at least it could have a nice landscaping. We're gonna try to pull stuff from debug and hopefully make this thing work. All right, terrain paints. Does it cost money? It's $0, yes. Debug, you guys, is honestly going to be the savior here because we have no money. We have no money for in-game objects. Not gonna lie, you guys, this would probably be impossible if I did not have debug, especially if I'm building this sort of mansion, if you guys can even call it that. This would just not be doable, but thankfully it's here. I can use these assets and actually make this lot look somewhat decent. All right, we do have all the stepping stones going inside. That looks great. Ooh, can we have some nice shrubbery? Yes, it's $0. Perfect. Okay. I think this is going to work great, actually. So I think I can do something like this. I'm going to try and wrap it around the house because we are pretty barren with all of the landscaping right now. So I think we'll do this. I'm going to town, you guys. Townie is going to town with the shrubs. And you know why? Because they're free. They are free, you guys. So here we go. All right, so we're fully wrapped around here. I think we still need some trees outside because it is still pretty empty. Could we potentially use these very interesting sectionals from the base game? Maybe. Could be a part of the landscaping. I'm not really sure how yet, but we could possibly align it with the lot itself. Okay, we definitely need to enclose the outside area. So let me see if I can actually find some kind of fence. I don't think I'm going to fence in the whole lot, but I think the backyard definitely needs some privacy. So let me see what we have. Ooh, can we do something like this? Kind of a tall fence option. Maybe this could do. Almost there. I hope it worked out perfectly. And it didn't. So close, you guys. Okay, this fence doesn't work too bad. It didn't situate perfectly against the wall. But I do think a mansion like this would have a pretty large iron fence around it. All right, the shrubbery is in place, you guys, and I think in retrospect, I'm actually going to remove these really weird pieces. The grass tones just don't really match, so I don't think they're helping the cause. Ooh, better yet, I'm wondering if we could even do palm trees. Could we potentially glam this up a little bit? Give it a little bit of some kind of tropical vibe. I don't know if that is actually a good solution or if I'm making it worse. So we could do something like this. Could we even do maybe palm trees going up the walkway? That could be interesting. little bit of Hollywood Boulevard, you know, California glam. Interesting. It does cover the house up a little bit, which I think is kind of my quarrel with this. But the palm trees do add a nice touch, so maybe I can resituate some of them. Ooh, we do have these in white. I do think we could use a little bit of color. That could help out the lot a little bit. Little bits of red in there. It's not too bad. I don't really mind that too much. Ooh, maybe a nice bit of pink in there. That could also work. Maybe slice them up like this. Put a few smaller patches in there to make it a little bit more organic looking. Put some of these taller plants in here. All right, I'm also going to travel back here and probably do the same thing because we have so much space to fill. I'm not going to feel too guilty about it, but we're going to go in and use some of the same foliage bits. Goodness, you guys, I feel like I was building this mansion in the wrong place entirely. It should have been Oasis Springs. It should have been Sulani potentially, but yeah, here we are. Here we are. So it's going to look a little bit out of context, but you know, please give me a little bit of slack here. I think the other thing I do want to do is actually create a little bit of a driveway. So I think, unfortunately, I'm going to take this out. I'm going to delete some of the foliage here and just create a little bit of something going up and probably get a very nice fancy debug car as well. All right, gravelly bits are in place. I don't know how luxurious they look, but I think they're gonna have to do. So at least we have something. We have some area for the car. Convertible is also a pretty good option. So maybe we can do this. That could be really cool. Could even do 2. Covered parking, however, that's another story. So I think I'm gonna have to find something that fits this. I was almost thinking the one from Jungle Adventures, if it's the right shade, but unfortunately I just don't know if it's free. It is not free, it is $1,000, yikes. Okay, so that went out the window. I'm pretty sure there is some kind of trellis that does come with base game, so let me see if I can find that instead. The problem is I have no clue where it is in this catalog. I've used it maybe once or twice, but I can never remember what it looks like. I am worried, you guys, because I am not seeing this option. I'm finding lots of lovely fountains, but for this trellis, this sort of overhanging roof object, I'm not seeing it. Ooh, I do like this. Have used this before. Can I actually section this off? Maybe it'll work. It's a little rustic looking, but I think it may actually capture the look we're going for. So let me see if I can make it work. Probably will close it in just a little bit. Ooh, what is this object from Eco Lifestyle? If we wanted to glam up this lot, we actually could, which I'm kind of thinking of. We do have a blank wall here. I'm thinking for walls that don't have some kind of accent, we could use something like this. All right, back to get together because I'm running out of options. Could try to use a glass option instead, which I did see, but it's a little tricky. We do have this one. There was also this option, which honestly doesn't look too bad. I think now that we had more sort of rustic elements with the fencing and a lot of the foliage, it doesn't stick out too badly, I think. May have to reduce the cars because it is a tight squeeze. So maybe this one convertible here, bring in another option towards the back, probably make it somewhat adjacent to the house or at least close by. So we do have some kind of area here. We could potentially use this one now that we have more of a tropical theme and have an area going back. So we did have a partial bathroom. We're missing some wallpaper here. Yikes. We still need a mailbox. Oh, goodness me. They're cheap. They're $0. Wonderful. Let's use this one. It definitely matches with the theme. And maybe along here in the property. Oh, here. Stick it on the outside. We don't need common folk bothering with our mansion. Definitely will need to use some terrain paint here because this patio, this backyard area just doesn't have any definitive spaces yet. So let me go in and do that. Okay, maybe do a large center area like this. All right, we have all this in place. It's actually looking pretty good, I think. Some of the choices are a little bit eclectic, like this carport area and this kind of accent wall, but I think we needed a little bit of something to glam up the lot. I'm using so much debug that the game is actually starting to lag, so I'm wondering if I should be concerned about that. But here we are. I'm going to take a break and go back inside because we are missing some very important components, unfortunately. We don't really have a living room space yet. We may have to forego that second space because I just don't have room for it, you guys. Unfortunately, I'm just trying to put as many features as I can, but I think this will just have to be one giant living room. So I'll get rid of these. What do we have for couches? $265. Okay, we're going to get close. We're going to get very close here. $195. Okay, I do like this option. Yikes. Oh my goodness. These TVs are below the budget, you guys. Yikes. Speakers are also insane. I don't really know if there's anything that's worthwhile here. Maybe a fireplace here then? but it definitely uses most of the budget. Let me see if I can actually find a better couch. Ooh, we do have these. We do have these. They don't really work though. They don't fit quite well. So we do need something in here. It is very barren, but we could do this. Maybe I can get rid of these and add in the windows. So at least we have a nice view, sort of. Could fake a carpet. If the flooring is the same price, I could use something else. $4, and this one is $4. Okay, not bad. Could I do this? We have absolutely no trash, which is very bad. Let's see if we can have a cheap outdoor trash can. What is an outdoor trash can? Boardwalk. This one I know does. The option from Island Living, and it actually works quite well. I think we can put it maybe out here. Yeah. Put it next to the mailbox. How are we doing with rooms? Because I'm thinking we can pull them in even more. Okay. Can I relay this out? Can I lay this out differently? Little tiny hallway here, and then have the bedrooms side by side, I think. Ah, we almost had the sink in here as well, but we just can't really fit it. And we're also low on money, which is very problematic. This is like a disastrous game of Tetris, you guys. I don't know where things are fitting. It is a mess. Oh my goodness. Can we do like a very little tiny bathroom with only a toilet and a shower, which is absolutely sad, but at least it's something. It would be nice if I could fit in a dresser somewhere, but obviously the space is very tight. Maybe this one? It's gonna blow the budget. It blew the budget. Scoochie in the wall, because we do need space. And I think there is enough clearance like this. Okay, we're definitely over budget, unfortunately, so I will have to see how we can cut some strings here. Can delete a light. Okay, that went down quite a bit. I don't think we have room for anything else, you guys, but how do we get back under budget? Maybe it is time to delete some of the windows, perhaps. Maybe delete some of the chairs. But there are already so many people living in this house, so I don't think that's a great option. Ooh, we could do an open area like this. Yeah, okay, that saved us more money, you guys. We're gonna do that. What to do with the extra money? That's the problem. What do we do with the extra money? So we do have a dining set, we do have a kitchen, we do have some very questionable bathrooms, but they do suffice, I think. So we do have that. We tried getting the TV, it didn't work, unfortunately. I think even with the money we have now, we just don't have enough. Let me see if I can find a nice art piece, and if I can, I will resituate these windows to make this look a little bit more presentable. $10? Okay, there's hope. There's hope, you guys. To do something big like this. It doesn't really fit the theme, you guys. It doesn't really fit the theme. Maybe something simple? That could work. That feels very minimalistic. It definitely feels like it could fit in this house. I'm going to try to put together some better pots for the inside because these don't really fit the look, so that's a little bit problematic. Ooh, we have some free security cameras? Maybe? To protect our mansion? Can we do this? Probably one right about here. That should do it. Let's have one looking at the fancy car because you never know what people will do. Some Grand Theft Auto? I think not. Okay, back to the plants. I was so distracted with that. Here we go. Okay. I could use this object. I think it works better. But there is also this one as well, so we could do something like this. Maybe use some debug objects in there too. Could also use some books, so at least we have something to do in this house. Okay, maybe I could pull some of these plants and potentially use the pots I had before. I think that's a potential idea I have in mind. Okay, so maybe this. Maybe some very small banana trees, perhaps. And then I will also go back to the base game debug and find that wonderful pot object. Aha, here we go. Perfect. Yeah, okay, I think it works. I think it'll have to do, you guys. It'll have to be the little trick here, so I think that's all right. I'll use one here too. So I think at this point, we have everything that we can fit. Obviously, we couldn't do a separate entertainment room because that was just too tight on the budget. But I think at this point, we can definitely go in and fix the shrub that I totally missed over here. Seriously speaking, we can probably put something outside because we do want to make use of this space. I do want to also see if I can add in a small pond. I don't know if that's going to be free, but I think it is. So that will help the landscaping a little bit. Maybe kind of follow along this path like this. A little bit janky, but I think it'll be okay. All right, little tiny ponds. Shapes are weird, but I think they're gonna have to do. At least they are something else in the lot. Let me just change out the watercolor a little bit. Gonna go back to debug probably for maybe Get Together or potentially even Jungle Adventure, because I do think we do have some objects that could fit the pond area. All right, I really do like these little tropical plants, so maybe we can just kind of scatter them all around, hope for the best. I think that is my strategy going forward. Maybe some color with these flowers doesn't hurt. Not really my first go-to, but the objects from debug are just not really cooperating with the terrain, so I'm trying to blend it in the best I can, which is questionable. It's questionable at best, but I think it'll do. Time for a little tiny bit of terrain paint, because we do want to make this look a little bit more natural. So I think I'll just go with a dirt swatch and just kind of pat this in like this. Okay, so to finish off this space, I think I do want to do an easel here. I know they're kind of pricey, so I'm going to see if we can possibly cut some corners somehow. At the very least, I do think we need a better skill building object here. So maybe an easel here with maybe a chair or something for a potential model to sit. So I think that could possibly work. Can actually bring this roof in some more because we're wasting some money. There. That didn't do anything. Which windows can I delete? We do have one each here. Don't want to leave any room windowless because I think that would be cruel. Maybe one of these. Oh, that was a whole window? No. There we go. Could we sacrifice some chairs, perhaps? That's kind of sad. It's a huge family with no seating. So that's not good. What can we do? Let me see. One over here for the model? Two, maybe? We're really grasping at straws here. Maybe I can do more of these tropical plants. I can do more debug creations of mine, if you can even call them that. Let me see if I can go back and get those. Could use these. These actually work. I do like these. So I think we can put one here. Maybe another one here. Alrighty. I could even enclose this little gazebo if I wanted to, which is actually not bad. I could use like some debug fencing perhaps and close it in that way just to make the space a little bit more private. Like that? Maybe? Okay, yeah, I think it's working. Let me try it again here, if I can fit them together. And yeah, it is a partially enclosed gazebo of some kind. Can we get something for $5 to actually match our budget exactly? That would be really awesome. So let me see if we can find something cheap. There's this cool fish decal, which is very weird. I don't know where it could go. $5, $5, nothing. It's all so pricey in here. This is definitely not $5. This is $5. This decal, but it looks terrible. $5 for this. Yes, there's hope. All right, guys, I think at the end of the day, I'm just going to use this interesting sort of guitar decal, and I'll probably put it right about here. So at least the living room is not too barren. We do have some nice sort of abstract contemporary art pieces. It kind of blends in with some of the patterns and silhouettes on the window. So I think that's going to be our solution. All right, guys, so this is pretty much it for the $20,000 mansion. I made sure to use all of the simoleons I had, so we are totally zeroed out. And yeah, unfortunately, I did not have a garage and I did not have that extra recreational space. But other than that, I think we do have everything. This is a look at the final landscaping, which turned out to be fairly tropical, which actually worked in its favor. It definitely made the lot look better than what it was. But here it is, a little carport area here. Debug stepping stones leading to the front entrance area. Towards the back, we have some very strangely shaped ponds. So not my best terrain manipulation, if you will, but I think it's gonna have to do. We do have a fountain and a little gazebo here with the one and only skill building object, which is the easel. Going inside, we did have 2 floors, which is great. We do have our main entryway here. We do have a little dining room with a very modest and not so modern kitchen, but we do have everything we need at least. And then moving over here, we do have our one and only living room, which has no TV and no music, but at least we have a nice fireplace, some books, and some abstract artwork along the walls. Bedroom spaces, like I said, there is normally a minimum of 5 to 6 bedrooms in a mansion, so I did stick with that. We can almost sleep 8 Sims total, which is amazing. I think if I maneuvered the budget a little bit, we probably could have fit in maybe a crib for a baby, so that could have made 8 Sims total. But here we are with the 5 different bedrooms. There is a very, very bad bathroom situation here. We do have one narrow ensuite bathroom here with one of the master bedrooms, if you will, and a little tiny partial one with a shower and toilet, which is something. Good luck to this poor family. But that is pretty much it. As always, I hope you guys had a blast watching this. I know that this was super fun and challenging for me. And as always, please feel free to let me know how I did in the comments. Did I nail this? Did I totally bomb this build? Does it look terrible? Or is this something that you could actually imagine yourself playing in? With that said, if you guys also have other ideas for build challenges, please feel free to let me know as well. I'm always open to weird and offbeat challenges, so no idea is really off the table. With that said, I will see you all in the next build challenge, and just like always, this has been 𝗧𝗛𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗧 signing off. Thank you so much for watching, guys.